Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is 1220 AM and 98.1 FM on the dial. Good afternoon, Los Angeles. We have a very, very special guest. He's going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. We'll be back with him very, very soon. But first, we're going to talk about Ask Brien. And Patty, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Peter. How are you?
Patty just had her first show yesterday. Hopefully everybody watched.
I
or
did.
Listened.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was really a lot of fun. It's called Starting Over. It happens the second Wednesday of the month at noon.
I didn't even know you were a prior radio person. You're starting over.
It's no, I'm starting over in live.
Oh.
Or I did, I should say. No, it was really a lot of fun, and it was very inspirational. My guest was amazing. She shared her story of her accident and coming back from that tragedy, and she's now a motivational speaker. You have to listen in to hear her story. It's amazing.
And you can listen to that on YouTube or KHTS.
KHTS, hometownstation.com, and then or KHTS on Facebook. You can see the video. They're working on the YouTube right now, so it should be up later today or tomorrow.
Well, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck on the new career.
Thank you. Well, it's not my new career. It's I'm still a mortgage advisor. My mortgage business pays the bills.
Well, you got to have something that pays the bills.
Yes.
So, as we've been discussing, for people that don't know, Ask Brien is the radio show. We also have the Ask Brien website, and that's AskBrien. That's the way you spell it. And Ask Brien is basically a concept created about a year and a half ago, basically trying to help business owners not have to reinvent the wheel, help business owners connect with experts in various fields, anywhere from Facebook advertising to human resources issues to any business issue that you have. And they have videos and ebooks, etc. And that's what the site's all about. And the radio show is basically a continuation of that, basically so that we have other ways to reach an audience and explain to them helpful business tips, helpful business concepts, so that every person can learn something just by going over to the Ask Brien site. And as we discussed, we're in this stage right now. My understanding is within a week and a half, the new revised website will be up, and I look forward to seeing that. I'm sure everybody will be there. And you visited the site. What do you think?
I did. It's great. It's awesome. I love the fact that we're offering business owners resources for free. And it's all about, we've said before, business owners helping business owners, and there's a lot of great resources.
It's really people helping people.
It is, and I love that. That's the way the world should work all the time.
And I think without further ado, I'm going to give a little background about this next guest. His name is Arnie Costello, and actually, you know what? I'm going to just dive right in and let him give his background story. Arnie, are you there?
I'm with you.
Okay, so you graduated high school, and then what? I'm asking that for a reason. And you know the reason.
First off, there is no O in my name. It's actually Costello. It was Costello, and then my father changed it when I was 3.
I used to watch Abbott and Costello when I was a kid, so
That's everybody used to go, hey, Abbott.
And then who's on first?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I graduated high school, and I was fortunate. I have a little bit of a brain. I have a college degree from Stony Brook and courses from Columbia. And on top of that, I had a couple of dreams, and as we all did growing up, and one of them was to just play professional baseball. That's all I ever wanted to do. And I could throw a baseball fairly hard, probably harder than, everybody always wants to tell you how good they were, and it's, and you got to take it with a grain of salt, but I did throw hard. I was drafted out of high school. I was the first pick of the country, the first pick high school kid of the country in the first round, and signed with the Detroit Tigers, and had a little bit of fun, and, and it was just, it's something you just really want to do. I got, traded to the Yankees, and even though I grew up a Yankee hater, I was a New York Mets fan. I always wanted to play for the Mets.
Well, I'm a Mets fan too, by the way.
Yeah, and so these are the kind of things. And I grew up with just my mom, my brother, and sister. And the interesting part was, this was all before the internet and whatnot. And my mom always learned how to keep me in check. And I remember on the day of the draft, at my house was the New York Times, the Post, Newsday, Daily News, and they're all up there, and they're talking to my mom, and they're saying, Mrs. Costello, you must be so impressed with your son. He's this, he's that. He's a bag of chips and more and all of this. And she told them all right to their faces. She said, you can quote me on this. I'm always impressed with my son. He's still taking the garbage out tonight, though. and
so you
and
kept your humbleness.
You better believe it. And from there, I played ball. I had just an amazing time. When you're an athlete, there's a different mindset. And then I got in the garment industry in New York.
Well, before we go there, you said you went to college, right? Now, so you got drafted in high school as a baseball player, correct, in the first round.
Yeah.
So when did you go to college? Right away, or did you go later on?
I was going to college while I was playing ball. In the off season, I would go to college. I had to sign a contract with my mother that I would finish my education.
She's a bright woman.
Smart mother.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another story about her. And this is one day I remember. I was, right after I'd gotten drafted, I was talking to a young lady on the telephone. And you got to remember, you go outside, with the cords so that no one can hear you. And I'm talking to her. My mom's sitting in, she's inside. She can hear me. And I'm just going out. And it's Friday night. I come in the house. I hang up. I'm about to, go jump in the shower. And my mom calls me over and she goes, Arnie boy, sit down over here. I go, Ma, I can't. I'm going out tonight. I got to take a She goes, sit down. And when my mom said that, my mom was a tough little lady, 5 feet by 5 feet, a little bowling ball. She was the toughest lady you'll ever know. And so I'm sitting down. She goes, Arnie. She used to call me Arnie boy. She goes, Arnie boy. She goes, I'm listening to you talk on the telephone. And you know something? You really think you're a big shot. And so I'm going, come on, Ma, is this what you're telling me? She goes, I just want to make sure you spell it right. I go, Ma, what? Come on. She goes, Arnie, I'm listening to you talk. You think you're a big shot. I just want to make sure that the O is not an I, because when I hear it, I think you're a big shot. And here's the lady where the sun rose and set with me. And that really put me in perspective of where I was kind of acting. And don't get me wrong, between me and my brother, and especially me and my brother, we drove her nuts. And, she passed away when I was 21 years old. So, but I look forward to every day. I sing songs. I don't care how I sound or to anybody. She was an influence that I can reach higher and higher than anyone. She always told me. She said, Arnie, reach for the stars, because when people reach for the moon, you're above them. I just did a piece of artwork called Reaching for the Moon and Stars, and it's the only painting I dedicated to my mom.
Sounds pretty cool.
And that's some of the things that I do. Then like I said, after, doing all of that, I then, playing ball, I got millions of stories. I've been asked to do some books and things like that, but, it's a little tough. I don't want to go in there. It's the memories are phenomenal. I keep getting phone calls from some people. You can always do the name dropping. I'm not here to do that. I remember them, and it was just a fabulous time. I then went in the garment industry and was quite successful in New York, moved out here, did the same thing, then started my own marketing company. I invented a putting device called the Putt Miser. And I started marketing that, and then I also invented a dog leash. So here I am, going from pitching at Yankee Stadium to manufacturing dog leashes, dog diapers, dog, shoes, you name it. And I built up a whole company and sold it. And, now I love to do motivational speaking. I love to work with kids. I love to be in that. In that whole thing, trying to help people. You got to give back in this world. Okay. And, and that's the whole thing. You can't be a big shit, and that's what it boils down to. I hope I could say that on the radio.
Well, probably not, but this is KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. And, you gave a lot of stuff up there, and some of the people want to know. So you're a baseball player, you stopped playing baseball, and you jump into the garment industry. How do you do that? What kind of funds do you need? Did you start out as? How did that happen?
Well,
That's what people want to know.
I was a trainee. Okay, I had never really had done anything like that. I mean, I grew up. I had your typical jobs. I was a dishwasher. I worked in on people's yards, and things like that. But when I got in the garment industry, I was a trainee. And there I am, and, I'm thrust into all of these situations, and I noticed that there were some people who were really successful, but most people weren't. And what I noticed was that the majority of the people, even though that's their business, they're intimidated. They're intimidated by these, the owners of companies, because especially in the garment industry, they're a little rough and tough. They use all four-letter languages. And, I have a slogan. I'm going to call on those people. I knock on those doors. And that's why I was successful, because, my attitude is, something, you don't like me? Hey, another person doesn't send me a birthday card. You think I really care? No. But I'm going to get in your face. I remember one time when I was a trainee, they sent me up to this account who was notorious for being just a complete jerk. I mean, he kicked people right out, and they wanted me to. They gave me a color card to show them. So I walk in his office and I knock on his door, whatever. He takes the color card and he goes, "This isn't the right color," and he rips it up. I'm standing there. What, are you kidding me? You just ripped up. I go. So, guess what? As I was walking out, I pulled this phone out of the desk. The desk was right in front of the lobby. I pulled it right out. I get back to my office, and my boss calls me. He goes, "Hey, Artie Kleinstein is calling. He's saying he's got a call from a phone booth. You ripped out his phone." And I told him I sure did. I said, "I'm not taking that crap." And that's, something. When you don't take crap from people, but you do it in a respectful way, you're going to move ahead. You will always move ahead, but you can't be fearful. Too many people are intimidated. I don't know. That's my attitude is, hey, so what? I'm calling. I'm going to work with the guy that can write the order. I don't want to work with the 18th assistant designer. And even when I was out here, same thing. That's why I was real successful.
So your basic, what you're saying, what I'm hearing you saying is your success was just your grit and going through, talking to people, networking. Back then, the internet wasn't necessarily a viable option for you, and you just learned from grassroots. It was not something that was...
Absolutely. Patty, you want to know something? When I grew up, the way I was successful in life, I'm a street kid. I threw dice in the alley. Okay?
I can picture that.
You had to believe in yourself. And like I said, through the influences of my mom, I believed in myself. I believed I can do anything. And something, and I tell people, I never make the wrong decision. I really don't. If my path is to go straight, and all of a sudden I come to a brick wall, okay, that wasn't a wrong decision when I first initially went. Now I have to make a right or a left. Okay, so now I just have to change that decision. But if you keep looking at things as you're making the wrong decision, then you start getting a feeling about yourself. Well, I don't make the wrong decisions. I feel I can do anything. I'm now endeavoring in an art, painting. I'm colorblind. And everybody wants me to, let me buy you the glasses that you could. Why? I like what I see. And people who look at my artwork say, wow, I'm not here to, toot my own horn, but they do. And I do it the way I want to. And something, I try to give respect because I expect respect from people. And when you do that and you're on even terms with them, I don't care if you got $10 billion in the bank, like I said, or you own one of these huge super yachts that I'm looking at. You put your pants on the same way I do. And it came from baseball. I knew I could do it.
Yeah, that mindset is huge. You just having that belief in yourself, having that belief in your abilities, the self-love, self acceptance is huge. And I've seen.
Patty, I'm 66. I still play baseball. People go, how do you still play? Why do you still play? And then all these young kids, I play against kids half my age. And I tell them, first off, if you're asking the question, you will never understand the answer. It's the drive. You got to want it. And some of these kids would go, Arnie, we know your talent when you were playing pro ball, but you're obviously not that. But you still managed to beat us. Why is that? And you know what I tell them? I said, because I want to beat you more than you want to beat me. You keep talking about it. I don't say it. I do it.
That's awesome.
I do it. And that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So how does that translate to business success?
Oh, it all translates to business. That's why I can almost call my own ticket. And I know I can call my own ticket at any endeavor. Because you have to have that same approach no matter what you do. Do it to the best of your capabilities. I'm going to use the S word again. My mom always said to me, Arnie, no matter what you do, if you shovel shit for a living, be the best shit shoveler you can be, and you will progress up the ranks.
And you are.
That, yeah.
We're going to have the station owners come in here pretty soon and cut us off.
Yeah, no, and I don't mean to do that, but like I said, it's no matter what you do, don't look at your lot in life. I talk to people, I play the stock market. And I've been doing okay, so people know that. They'll come up to me, they'll ask, and the first thing they say to me is, oh, I don't buy as much as you. So I said, why do you preface it with that? Is there a stigma if you only buy 50 shares or 100 shares? It's your money. Treat it like that. Mm-hmm. See, everybody always wants to put qualifiers on themselves. I have no qualifiers.
Well, we have to come right back. We'll be back after the commercial break. But one of the reasons why I have to qualify is, as a lawyer, I have to qualify everything I say because I'm afraid someone's going to come and sue me.
Well, that I can understand.
So forgive me for that.
Yeah, for those tuning in, Peter's scrolling your Facebook page with some of your drawings, which are really, really nice. So, yeah, anyone listening, check out Arnie Costel.
And he's colorblind.
I can't see the colorblind in your pictures. They're very colorful.
No, you know what it is? I go to Blick Art Materials. They're fabulous. I'm not really trying to give them a promotion, but they know me. I walk in and I'll say to them, I'll go, look, Natalie, I need a blue, but it's got to be on the cool side. And since I can't see it, and then we do it. I mark the tubes and I'll do stuff like that, but I will still paint what I see. And that's what I do. And like I said, I just really enjoy it. And I get, frustrated sometimes with certain things that I'm doing, but it doesn't matter. The frustration just drives me more. Come out of your comfort zone. I love that statement. Yeah. I try to do that all the time.
It sounds like you don't have the word failure in your vocabulary, which is great. I don't believe that there is failure. There's always a lesson to be learned, and
absolutely,
whatever you do, there's something that there's a reason things didn't work out for whatever. So your drawings, we've got about a minute before commercial.
Sure.
Where do people find your drawings? Do you have a website? Do you have?
No, just if you go to. I'm trying to get Instagram, but at 66, I still don't know how to do that stuff. If
you have to hire a 26-year-old.
That's too old.
Or a 16-year-old.
If you go to my Facebook page, it's open to everybody. If you go into photos, there's a couple of albums called Artwork. My biggest one is Artwork 3. I'm a big thing in numbers. I'm into numbers, aromatherapy, and things like that. And so Artwork 3 is one. I have, a couple other folders with artwork, and, you could see my artwork on there.
All right. That sounds awesome. We've got to take a quick break. You're listening to your hometown station?
Weekends are now exciting in Santa Clarita as Persia Hookah Lounge hosts its House of Entertainment every weekend night from 8 to 11. Thursdays feature a DJ on the hookah patio. Stop by Fridays for performances by Belly Dancer of the Universe winner Jasmina, or Saturdays to hear great local live bands. Persia Lounge also caters for both homes and businesses, starting as low as $8. Discover Persia Hookah Lounge on Main Street, where it's all happening in Old Town Newhall. Persia-lounge.com.
Party Homes makes the home buying process a breeze. Come see our 3 new neighborhoods in Santa Clarita, priced from the mid-500s to the high 700s, with options for families and 55-plus active adults. Our newest neighborhood, Cresta, opens March 31st. Design and build the home of your dreams, or choose from professionally designed, move-in ready homes. Call 661-666-2342 to set up an appointment today.
Santa Clarita now has a quaint antique store in a country setting, Rooster Relics, complete with a vintage flea market. Be part of the excitement on Saturday and Sunday, March 17th and 18th, 10 till 4 p.m. Check out the cutest home decor, collectibles, antiques, patio furniture, upcycled and painted furniture, handcrafted jewelry, food trucks, and so much more. The fun begins on Saturday and Sunday, March 17th and 18th at Rooster Relics on Bouquet Canyon Road, just past Vasquez on your left side. Rooster Relics.
When it's time to improve your game, it's time for Roger Dunn. Roger Dunn Golf Shops have all the top brands with professional assistants who will actually guide you with helpful advice. They've got it all. The brand names, the apparel, accessories, clubs, training equipment, videos, GPS rangefinders. It's the one store to find the perfect gift for your golfing enthusiast. Roger Dunn is the only Santa Clarita store where you can trade up your equipment. Improve your game. Roger Dunn on Main Street in Old Town Newhall.
Don and Gino here. So we know you want to have fun learning about real estate and finance. You're going to want to tune in this Saturday, 9 a.m. to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here on your hometown station. Hot topics, as always, guiding you to personal and financial wellness. And that's right, you don't want to miss it. So again, this Saturday, 9 a.m., and then we replay it online Sunday, 9 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. right here on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Join us.
City of Hope is a world leader in cancer research and treatment. And there's a City of Hope community practice location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer: distance to quality care. Santa Clarita benefits from City of Hope's compassionate care and renowned clinical expertise. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
Welcome, KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. She loves when I do that. You can see the smirks over here. It's unbelievable. We have a wonderful guest. We've been talking to him for a while. Professional baseball player, garment success story. He came up with a product about dog leashes that we're going to discuss. He's just really an amazing guy. Basically, the concept is you have to visualize where you're going to be to accomplish success. And I want to get into the nitty-gritty with him. I told him I'm going to do that. And Arnie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, so what was the name of this product with the dogs? Unleash? What's it called?
Okay. It's called the Bottoms Up Leash. Okay. I had a dog named Watson. And my company then subsequently became Watson's International. And when Watson was 15, he got arthritis, and he couldn't walk with his back legs, and I used to carry him. And people would come up to me and say what a great owner I was, and I would tell them, no, I got a great dog. But I knew something had to be. I saw a show on rock climbing, you know, in that harness that goes in the groin area, and they throw it over their head, and they hoist themselves up. Well, I'm watching this going, whoa! I could make one of those and walk Watson. Next day I go to Petco. I have the leash right in front of me that I made. I don't know how many years ago. I bought 5 leashes, cut them up, and sewed them. Every time I started walking Watson, people would come up to me. Where do I get it? Where do you get what? And I realized the demand. And then I started. Once you start seeing it, you have to explore it yourself. I started reading. I started asking questions. That's why a show like yours is important. I started saying, how many dogs? Do you know there are 73 million dogs in the United States, and 58% of them will have a back leg problem? Now, that's not to say 58% are going to need the bottoms-up leash, but that's a lot of dogs, even if you cut that in half, who are going to potentially need. That's a target that you can go after. Well, so then I started saying, okay, how do I get a patent? And, the Internet was just, it was around, because my patent was in 2003, but I started seeking out people who knew. You need to surround yourself with strong people. That's how you're going to do it. If you can't do it yourself, I try to do most things myself. That's almost to a fault, but I've also learned how to delegate, and you have to do that. And you find the people, and I found a couple of people who were so strong in the Internet, and I got the patent on it. I then started to just slowly promo it, and then, of course, you need a little luck. The New York Times called me up and wanted to know what an ex-New York Yankee was doing. So when I told them about my leash, they said, wow, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a section in the New York Times in the Sunday section about senior dogs. Would you mind if we mentioned what you're doing? Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
No, please don't.
So they gave me 2 sentences. That Sunday, I sold 800. I was only in process of making 300 at a time.
Oh
at the time. I sold 800.
Wow.
I was like, are you kidding me? And then because of that, then you have to learn your target date. I was knocking on doors of veterinarians. And one thing you have to do, you have to learn to listen to people. You have to survey as soon as you go in their office what their likes are, and you got to appeal to them while you're trying to pitch your product. Well, let's call it what it is. I knew a lot of people love baseball, so I already had that in. But you're talking to people who love dogs. I love my dog, and Watson was just so special. And so these are the things that you have to float through. You have to make it almost immediate assessments on what people want to hear. Because if you're going to walk in and the first thing you're going to do is pitch your product, something, who gives a hoot, to be quite honest. Something, you got to show them how they're going to make money. You got to show them the value, and you got to show them how this is something that is saleable.
So let me ask you a quick question. Let's step back a minute. You mentioned that you had this idea. You took some leashes. You sewed them yourself.
Yes.
You got a patent. How did you take that concept and go? I mean, did you manufacture in the States? Did you manufacture out? How did you find that connection?
Initially, I went downtown, and I talked to the people who were sewers, because I figured, well, the sewers are, it's nylon braiding. I started, finding, okay, how much is nylon braiding? How much is contracting? How much is this? So I wouldn't be ripped off. I went to the contractors downtown, and that's where I was making them. I was making them in downtown with the sewers.
So did you hire people? Did you hire people specifically?
Yes, I would hire people. Then I found one man in particular who had contacts in Mexico, and we started then making them in Mexico. And, your cost structures go down. And what happens is, it's not dumb luck. It's not dumb luck. It's hard work, okay? Whatever you're doing, you have to figure out, okay, I'm trying to manufacture a dog leash. A dog leash is a nylon braid that's sewn together. Okay, where do I get the nylon braiding? Well, you can Google it now. Now you can ask Brien. It's real easy. Now it's a lot easier. Okay, now you know about nylon braiding. Once you start talking to people who manufacture the nylon braiding, you can ask them questions. Hey, who's some of your main leash sewers? They start talking to you. You start talking to them. and it becomes a scenario. But it's hard. It's not hard. It's work. It's diligent. You have to stay on top of it. If you think you snap your fingers, it doesn't happen. Well, like I said, for me, I then started seeing one of my audiences or my clientele should have been the veterinarian. And I hit it off with veterinarians. And then they put me on Pet Life Radio. And pretty soon, Dr. Marty Becker, who's the veterinarian on Good Morning America, he started promoting my product.
How did he find out about your product?
I called him. And you know something? People go, oh, you really can't get a hold of Marty Becker? Yeah, I can get a hold of Marty Becker. You know, and you know, it's interesting. When someone tells me that, I'm not going to do it just to prove to them. I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it for me. You know, even when it comes to ball players, if we go back to being ball players, you know what I really hate when I hear, well, we're glad we won it because nobody gave us a chance. Nobody, not it. Who cares what nobody did? You do it for yourself. That's the same way in my business thing. I don't care because nobody tells me I can't get a hold of this guy. I'll get a hold of Marty Becker. There was a company in Mahwah, New Jersey, and there was a guy who walked. He was the president of a catalog and a distributing company, you know, for pet products, Central Garden and Pet. And this guy, I mean, he walked right off of the streets of the Soprano. And, you know, when he walked down the trade shows, I mean, everybody, like, moved out of the way. He walked by my booth. And I said to him, yo, Vinny, just like that. I go, look at this leash. You should be doing it. He said, hey, you know, I kind of like it. Send me one. I go, to heck with you, I will. And all of a sudden he stopped. This is what he's talking about.
The common theme that I'm hearing here with what you're sharing and prior guests is the tenacity and the perseverance that's needed in any business and
any business, Patty. It doesn't matter. If you don't believe in yourself, your customers are not going to believe in you. They see through that left and right. When I had to hire people, I could tell in 3 seconds whether you really, you know, whether you're looking for a job for the sake of getting a job, whether you really want a job, whether you want my job. You know, I could tell. You know, it comes through. You have to see yourself, as I use self-imagery. You can't see yourself doing something. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. And you have to, no matter what, you got to find a way. I once told one of my salespeople, he gave me 20 reasons why he couldn't get the order. And I said to him, you know something, that's great. You just gave me 20 reasons. You know what I'm going to ask you? Give me one reason why you should get it. Just one. That's all you need.
Well, it was, Ford that said if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right?
Yes.
So
you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, also, you can't succeed if you quit. And we're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. We're here live with Mr. Cassell, excuse me.
Arnie Costello.
Hey, Peter, I'm going to put my Uncle Vincenzo up on you, so don't do that.
I would like to know that because he's got a lot of tenacity. He's probably very successful. Basically, the word I hear from you, if I'm not mistaken, is the word called confidence. That's what it's all about. You need confidence.
Without a question.
Belief in yourself. Yeah.
Belief in yourself. You know something? There's cockiness, there's confidence, and you have to do it with taste and respect. You can't walk around being braggadocious and telling everybody how great you are.
People will resonate with confidence. They will not resonate with cockiness. That's my personal opinion.
You know, I'd rather have other people telling me how great I am or whatever than me telling you. That's why when you asked me, I could name drop and whatever. I was asked to write an article about myself, and I wouldn't do it. And the guy wrote it instead. and he did a good job, but it almost was a little bit of a hatchet job because he said, Arnie, you don't want to write about you. No, I don't. You know,
I don't think anyone enjoys writing about themselves.
It's just not my thing. You know, I take credit for a lot of stuff, but there's stuff you have to do and stuff you don't have to do. And just being you know, people then think you're a jerk. You know, I don't think many people say that about me. I mean, I hope not. But people do know that I'm pretty cocksure about myself. You know, I'm extremely confident. I can believe I can do anything. And, you know, that's why I'm still playing ball. I mean, people say to me, I've had so many surgeries. I've had almost 20. I have a knee replacement, a hip replacement, a Tommy John twice. And my doctor said, you shouldn't be walking. How are you playing ball? Because I want to.
You had Tommy John before there was Tommy John.
No, I was number 200 in, you know, and now they'll do 2,000 a day. And I was number 200, and I actually had Dr. Frank Jobe do it. And so it was when it was in the infant stages of it. And he said to me right before he put me under, he said, hey, we're gonna put on, you know, we're going to give you a brand new elbow. And I said, make sure it's Kofax.
Let me take you back a few minutes ago. We were talking about the path and the journey that you were with the dog leash.
Yes.
It sounds like you were doing the door knocking and the phone calling, and you were on the streets. Did you have any kind of support, sales team or anyone else, or was it just 100% you?
No, it was only 100% me because, you know something, no one had the passion that I had for it. I would tell stories about Watson. Well, you know, it was interesting. And then when I was selling people, you know, I used to let you know, somehow you have to get these people to warm up to you. So the first thing I would say to them, what's your puppy's name? Mm-hmm. You know, here's these tough little Jewish ladies or Italians and whatever. And, you know, and then as soon as I said, what's your puppy's name? Oh, he's not a puppy. I go, yes, he is. He's 15 years old. I go, he's still your baby, isn't he? Is he your puppy? Well, I guess so. What's his name? His name is Rocky. Is Rocky a big dog or a little dog? You know, and then I get them to talk about that. And as soon as that, then they're relaxed. And so I had to knock on all the doors. I would just think of new ways I can promote my bottoms-up leash.
So for those listeners who are building a business, whether they're new and they've got this new product or an idea or concept, or they're several years into it and they're losing their mojo, they're just frustrated with the lack of success or hitting some walls. What kept you going, and in that mindset of perseverance, what kept you focused on that vision and kept you optimistic and kept you staying positive? Because it's easy to get frustrated and just like, ugh, I'm done. I've seen a lot of business owners just, you know, give up because it's just...
And you want to know something? It's a simple process. The owners that are going to give up should never have started it. The bottom line. If you are going to start an endeavor like this and you believe in it, you can make it happen. What I used to do when I would walk into, say, some of these, anyone, whether they be a distributor, a catalog, Petco, PetSmart, first thing I'd do is I would walk in and I'd put a $100 bill on the table. And I would say, before I ask you any questions, you can have this $100 bill if you answer no to the first question I'm going to ask, and I'll walk out of here. And that question was, do you know of a dog or knew of a dog who had a problem walking?
No.
But think about it. Everybody knows, my Aunt Tilly, my cousin, my neighbor, everybody knows of a dog that has a problem walking, especially if you're involved in this industry. And so I knew that. And once you make people people aware. So when you're talking about business, no matter what, if you're going to sell widgets, why is it that someone wants a widget? And you have to find that reason. But you already know the reason, because if you're entering this business, you have a grasp on it. You have a belief in it. If you're going to sell, you're going to make your own little, jewelry or dream catchers. You know what I'm saying? Anything.
It's all about filling a need, finding that need, and then filling it. And
correct.
That's
making
simple as it is.
And making people aware that you have that need. You have the need. You know what I'm saying? It's you have to make the people you're selling to aware that that need is yours also.
Yeah, it came from your passion for a reason.
Well,
and
that's the sales part, but the fact of the matter is, what do you say to the person that has $0 in the bank, has this great idea, and he's been working on it for 3 years, and he says, I got to go get a job? What are you going to tell that person?
Well, you know something? You can always get an investor. You can always get an investor. I don't care what you're saying. You can always get an investor. In today's market, you know something? Money should never be an obstacle.
There's always Shark Tank.
Okay. How many? There are shows like that, and there's knockoffs on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
There's so many different things now where you could go on GoFundMe's or things like that. There's another one on the internet where you can put stuff on.
Yeah, there's
okay. So when you want to talk about money, that should be the least objectionable thing. It's interesting. I always say I want to sell my artwork. And yet I haven't really done it. I know how to sell it if I really want. I've already, every time I've experimented and called the right people, I go online, how to find a distributor, how to do this. And then it boils down to, you still got to knock on doors. You got to go into
Hey, if you can hold that thought, I hate to be rude, but if you can hold that thought,
okay, go ahead.
We'll be right back. We're going to take a commercial break.
Your building sign is essential in getting customers to your location. Feathers can help get your business noticed. They walk you through each phase of your building sign project, providing special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will give you a sign you can be proud of. Your building sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Feathers on Soledad in Canyon Country, across from the Edwards Theater. Or go to feathersphoto.com. That's feathersphoto.com.
Buying your home can sometimes be challenging. That's why Charlene Gill with CSMC Mortgage is your Santa Clarita mortgage expert. What's important to you is to secure a loan at the best possible rate, to have a professional guide you through the process, and to close on time. Charlene's 23 years in the mortgage industry and her personal expert knowledge in the Santa Clarita Valley makes her your mortgage expert. Contact Charlene at hometownstation.com/Charlene. That's hometownstation.com/Charlene.
We all know someone impacted by the Las Vegas tragedy. It's touched our valley in thousands of households. Many of us were actually there. In Santa Clarita, we had 1 fatality and 14 injured by bullets. Many more were injured trying to escape. Others are still traumatized by their ordeal, finding challenges returning to normal lives. The law firm of Owen Patterson Owen is helping many Las Vegas victims get financial assistance for their ordeal. If you know someone impacted by the shooting, visit opolaw.com.
Welcome back, and that's a great song. In fact, that song is from that movie Rocky, and you were just mentioning earlier about that dog Rocky. So, I mean, I guess there's a correlation there. I didn't even think about that when you were saying Rocky. So, we're back on KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM, and so we're just leaving the show for a commercial break, and we're talking about, hey, money shouldn't be the issue. There's plenty of money to get out there. And what I'm talking about is, so you've got this idea, you've got this patent, you've been working on it for 3 years, the revenue still isn't coming in, you know you've got a great concept, you know it's going to work, and you can't find the investor. So what are you going to do, Mr. Arnie?
Okay. First off, that would never happen, though, because if you allow that to happen, you're not working. Okay, you're not working. Okay, when you believe in something, okay, and you believe in it so passionately, you will gravitate towards the people that also believe in it. And now with the internet is a ridiculously unbelievable business tool. Okay? It is a ridiculous, and with your shows, webinars, and radio. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Okay? My Pillow. How many times are you tired of seeing this guy for My Pillow? Okay?
He's out there a lot, yeah.
He's out there a lot. Well, guess what? He wouldn't be out there that much if he wasn't making a buku boatload of money. Well, and I'm sure when he first started, it didn't just snap right in. It was diligent. It was hard work. He got his investors. And so no matter what you may have and sell or manufacture or do, you can find how to do it. You can find how to do it. I mean, it blows my mind what people are selling, that they just know how to do it. And
so hold on. So what's the most ridiculous thing you've seen sell very well?
A pet rock.
Yeah. Think about things.
Now you have to give something else because she said that.
Okay. There was something I saw just recently that just totally blew my mind. Okay, even think about how many things now are working with like regrowing hair, regrowing. You know what I'm saying? These are all in the medical fields now. Yes, but none of them are FDA approved. Okay, yet we're going to buy. Think about whatever you're going to market. People want to be skinnier. They want to be younger. They want to be more virile. They want to be, their pets. There are so many different categories that we want to do. They want to be healthier. And those are the things, if you're going into business, I listen to what people come to me all the time and ask me, what do I think about this? And I tell them, and I give them my true answer. Some of them are not for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for you. Life is a little bit of a gamble. Go out there. Remember, if the turtle never stuck his head out, he'd never get anywhere. And I love that expression. I really do. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep plodding on. Even playing pro ball. Everybody wants to say, you can't do it. You can't do it. Okay? I didn't do it because they told me I couldn't. But if I listened to everybody that said I couldn't do it, I would never do anything. Okay? I would never do the stocks. I would never do anything. You have to just say, I'm doing it for me. Yes, I believe in this. I will make it happen.
Yeah, that fire in the belly and that passion is absolutely crucial. No doubt.
It's beyond
crucial. He clearly has that passion.
Yeah.
Tony, I work out all the time. I throw a bullpen this morning. I really do. I go down in Venice and I throw, against the handball courts, and I yell at the homeless people, come on, you think you're going to hit my fastball? Get up there, you old man. I have so much fun. And that's another thing. You got to have fun. You got to laugh at yourself. You got to be able to when you get knocked down, you got to bounce up. Bounce up. Hey, you ran into some financial problems. Guess what? I'll find a way to do it. I'll find the way to do it. And that's what I'm saying. Never look at things as mistakes. And that's how I look at it. That's how I look at everything. And, and that's why I like to think, I don't want to say I've been a successful person. Let other people say it. And something, you're only a success if you believe it.
So looking back, Arnie, looking back, would you change anything? Would you do anything differently? Would you have any recommendations for somebody who is a business owner of, something that you've learned different?
Yeah, he would have been a baseball player during free agency.
What I would tell business people is stay with it. If you believe it, it will work. It will work. And if you have your self-doubt, and you really have doubts, then maybe that business is not for you. But if you believe in something, do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
I think that a lot of that passion, and when the going gets tough, what keeps people going is their why. And I speak about this a lot. Their why has to be an emotional trigger. Their why cannot be, I want a bigger car, or I want a bigger house, or I want, fame or fortune or whatever. Their why has to be something emotional. So for you, in your case, your emotion was tied to Watson, who was your baby that you wanted to be able to walk.
Without a question.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting you're asking. I speak for NEPRIS. NEPRIS is, I don't get paid for it. And the last time they asked me to speak before these high school kids, they're underprivileged, in Chicago, who are great athletes and they want to play pro ball, and what is it like? What is it like? And they wanted me to tell them the real story without discouraging them. And I said to them, if you're going to go into this and be a pro athlete, to get more bling, to get a car, to get ladies, to get jewelry, to get houses, don't even bother.
Yeah.
Don't even bother. There's too many other people that won't come with as high recommendations as you, but they'll eat your lunch because they have that burn, that desire, that just get up. Nothing's knocking me down. You're gonna have to run me over with a car and then back over me.
Yeah. Again, it's their why. So we're down to about 30 seconds to wrap up. You didn't have a website, so your Facebook page is where they can see some of your artwork and connect with you.
Yes.
And it's Arnie, C-O-S, spell it for us.
T-E-L-L, Costell.
Costell, no O at the end.
Oh.
No O.
Oh.
No O. Arnie, thank you. It's been a pleasure. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS, AM 1220.
And 98.1.
98.